Welcome to Module 3 of our class on how to present a prenup to your partner. In this session, we'll explore how to handle the emotional responses that might come up when you bring up a prenup. We'll also talk about how to address common objections and misconceptions so that you can keep the conversation productive and solution-focused. Understanding and navigating your partner's emotional reaction is essential to ensuring that this discussion doesn't lead to conflict, but instead builds trust. Talking about a prenup can trigger a wide range of emotions. The most common reactions are fear, distrust, and hurt. Your partner might interpret the request for a prenup as a sign that you're not fully confident in the marriage or that you're prioritizing money over love. Here's why these emotions tend to surface and how you can handle them. Your partner might worry that the prenup means you're already thinking about divorce. They may fear that you're preparing for the end rather than focusing on building a life together. Your partner might also feel that you're trying to control the financial aspects of the relationship, leading to anxiety about their financial security. Your partner may also interpret the prenup as a lack of trust, feeling like you're trying to protect yourself from them. And lastly, your partner may feel hurt that you're thinking about legal agreements rather than focusing on the love and commitment you're about to share. It's important to recognize that these emotions are valid and actually validate them. Validation means acknowledging their feelings without necessarily agreeing with them. This shows you understand their concerns and aren't dismissing their emotions. Here's how you can validate your partner's feelings. If they're feeling fear, you could say something like, "I understand why talking about this makes you anxious. It can feel overwhelming to think about the what ifs, but this is about planning for the unexpected, not doubting our relationship." If they're feeling distrustful, you could say something like, "I hear you. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I believe in being open and clear about finances so we're both protected no matter what." And if they're feeling hurt, you could say, "I get why this might hurt. Please know this isn't about money being more important than our relationship. I love you and I want to make sure we're both safe now and in the future." Now, let's talk about how to address the most common objections or misconceptions your partner might raise when you bring up a prenup. These are sensitive topics, and your responses need to be calm, clear, and reassuring. First, they might say something like, "Doesn't a prenup mean you think the marriage will fail?" So what's actually going on here is your partner may believe that discussing a prenup means you're already considering divorce. You could respond to that and say something like, "No, not at all. A prenup isn't about expecting failure. It's about being smart and prepared. It's like having insurance. We get health insurance even though we hope we never get sick. This is just a way to make sure you're both protected, no matter what happens. And honestly, having clear financial expectations can actually help us focus on what's most important, which is our relationship." If your partner says something like, "Why are you thinking about money before we're even married?" Your partner may feel like focusing on finances takes away from the romance of getting married. So you could say something like, "I understand that this might feel like it's putting money in front of our love, but this isn't about focusing on money. It's about making sure we're both protected and set up for success. Marriage is about partnership, and part of that is being clear about finances. This way we won't ever have to worry about these things and can enjoy our life together without stress." If they say something like, "Are you trying to take advantage of me?" What could be going on here is your partner might feel vulnerable and worry that the prenup is a one-sided agreement meant to protect you at their expense. So you could say something like, "Absolutely not. This prenup isn't about one of us taking advantage of the other. It's about making sure we both know what to expect and that things are fair for both of us. We can work on it together and make sure the agreement feels right for you too. I want this to be something that protects us both, not something that benefits just one of us." When the conversation turns to tough questions, which it might very well do, it's easy to get defensive. But getting defensive can escalate the situation, making your partner feel like their concerns aren't being heard. Instead, focus on staying calm, acknowledging their perspective, and clarifying your intentions. Here's a key tip, and you can take this one well into marriage with you as well. Always pause before you answer. Take a moment to process what your partner has said and avoid reacting out of frustration or impatience. For example, if your partner asks something like, "Why do you need to protect yourself from me?" Rather than getting defensive, you could say, "I I don't see it as protecting myself from you. I see it as us agreeing on how we handle finances and property together so that there's no confusion later. It's not about distrust, it's about being clear and planning responsibly. One of the best ways to keep the conversation positive is to frame the prenup as a proactive step and not a sign that you're doubting the marriage. So you could say something like, this isn't about doubting our future together. I believe in us, and that's exactly why I want to make sure we're both protected. I want to focus on our life together, not worry about potential conflicts down the road. Throughout this process, your goal is to keep the conversation solution focused. If emotions start to run high, it's okay to take a break and come back to the discussion later when both of you are calm. Here's how to keep things productive. Stay calm and composed. If you stay grounded, your partner is more likely to mirror your tone. Ask questions. Instead of assuming what your partner is thinking, ask for their perspective. For example, what about this conversation feels uncomfortable to you? Emphasize collaboration. Remind your partner that you want to work together on the prenup. We can both have input and we'll make sure it's fair for both of us, you could say. And finally, reassure often. Use phrases like, I understand why this is hard, or we're in this together, to show that you care about how they're feeling. By keeping the focus on finding solutions that work for both of you, you can turn what might feel like a difficult conversation into one that strengthens your relationship. In summary, managing emotional reactions when discussing a prenup comes down to 3 main principles. Validate your partner's feelings, acknowledge their concerns and fears, stay calm and avoid defensiveness, listen carefully and respond with empathy. Finally, keep the conversation focused on solutions. Emphasize how a prenup can benefit both of you. In the next module, we'll cover how to collaborate on creating a prenup that reflects both of your needs, ensuring fairness and mutual understanding.